new arms. So if you want to skip that good news and go down to that other one, we could do that.
Like if we're running out of time, you mean?
Well, this one, I'm just saying if you're going to do good news 1, it's going to recap what you just talked about with Tony's article. So I just put it there just in case you wanted to play that and say, hey, let's listen to the story.
Oh, but so it's the same thing. Oh, it's the same. Wait, so I've got a story that he's going to verbally talk about that I was going to use for good news.
Yeah, but I've got another one underneath it if you want to use different good news. I didn't know if you wanted to play the report that we had, the good news report. I'll move this to the next hour.
Okay, so the war wound. Well, no, don't move it. Don't move it. You can put it underneath the 4-year-old just in case we decide that Tony's going to do a brief intro and we're going to listen to it.
Sure.
I see your unneeded beauty routine is done already.
All right, here we go, guys.
It's unbelievable. It's as good as it gets. It's unbelievable. You don't know what's gonna happen next.
You're listening to Daybreak USA.
Oh boy, Tony Trupiano, you know, on Facebook, on Daybreak USA, and on our own pages, we stream live. And I had my old cameraman from TV personal message me and say, Angie, just so you know, the camera, when they're wide angle, distorts you and your forehead looks rather large. You need to boost your chair up or lower your camera. I was like, thank you. so I love him. So anyway, lots of advice for us. All right, let's talk about your first story, Tony Trupiano with TNZTalk.com. That is about how long can humans live? Like I read this yesterday. Very interesting. There's like a max that our bodies can handle.
Yeah, 115. And good morning, Angie, by the way. And I think you look stunning all the time.
Oh, thank you, Tony Trupiano.
It's true. Yeah, they say that the max now is 115. There was a woman in France a few years ago that died at the age of 122. Angie, I can't imagine. Not that I'm looking forward to death, not that I'm into morbidity. But 115, unless I'm doing really well. And, you know, we did that story the other day about the gentleman at 102 wanted to ride on the back of a Harley. You know, he is obviously very fragile. I just don't know what it's like. Now, both of my grandmothers lived quite old. My grandmother, Trupiano, lived to a month before her 100th birthday. And my other grandmother lived until her 97th year. And so there is some longevity there. I don't anticipate that I'm going to live that long, but 115, Angie, seriously, tell me, do you want to live that long?
Well, you know, my husband always jokes around that I'm going to live that long because he said, all you eat is like lettuce and organic apples and kale. He's like, I'm sure when the doctor like gives you like a physical, it'd be like, oh my gosh, it's like shiny inside your body. You know, I'm like, okay. So yeah, I do work out every day. I do my 10,000 steps. So I could see living quite a while. My dad's 82 and he still can jog and he does Tai Chi and chess every day. You know, that's not, you know, we've got 20 more years or 18 to reach 100. So I don't know. I'm aiming for that, Tony, but I certainly would want to keep like quality of life. You don't want to be like, you know, in a bed for an extra 15 years.
Absolutely. And anyway, I just thought it was an interesting story. If people want to check it out, it's at the New York Times today.
All right, we have a story. And Tony, why don't you give a little preview and then we'll actually listen to it because we have more details on this good news story because you and I love good news.
Well, this story really moved me. A veteran from Afghanistan was a quadruple amputee, so he lost both legs and both arms. After a very, very long wait, 4 years, he actually got an arm transplant, only the second one in this country, and it's worked well. And I think we just need to go to the audio because I can't do it justice like he can.
It is wonderful. Here we go.
He served our country in Afghanistan, where Marine Sergeant John Peck made a huge sacrifice. In 2010, an IED claimed both his arms and both his legs. Prosthetics helped Peck regain his life, but his spirit pushed for more. The 31-year-old from Virginia was introduced at Brigham and Women's Hospital following his bilateral arm transplant.
Heartfelt, sincere thank you to the doctors.
Peck received his new arms this summer in a 14-hour-long surgery. He's one of 4 at Brigham and Women's and one of 28 around the world.
I've made small steps every week
We sat down for a one-on-one interview with the retired Marine who described how even the simple tasks like scratching his nose are huge achievements.
It's kind of hard to rely on somebody to do everything for me. Well, every week there's been even a small accomplishment.
Those accomplishments come with a deep sense of gratitude for the family of the donor and their gift.
Every day I look down, I'll be reminded of that.
While Sergeant Peck looks forward to doing the little things involving daily life, he also has some pretty big aspirations.
And competing on the next Food Network star. So hopefully here, Giada and Bobby Flay, John Peck, you are the next Food Network star.
After the surgery, he proposed to his girlfriend Jessica at the New England Aquarium. He someday hopes to have the strength to hold her hand again.
More normal for us to be able to, for her to be able to hold my hand and for me to be able to hold hers, and something that I look forward to the most.
The simple things we all take for granted, but this amputee pledges to the donor's family to always be grateful.
Every day that I look down at our new arms, I will drive on through the pain. I will never give up.
Love it, Tony. I can see why you picked that one. So what moved you?
Well, it's certainly his spirit. And if you read the article, I mean, the audio was great. If you read the article, you find out how grateful he is to the donor and their family, who, by the way, wanted to stay anonymous. I love the goals that he has. I have a quick update. He is now able to hold his fiance's hand.
Oh.
And he said that if she holds it really hard, like he's in trouble, and he chuckles when he says that, that he can now feel her hand.
Ooh, that gave me the chills.
You know, and Angie, this is also a testament to medical science. The doctors, by the way, volunteered their time to do the surgery. The hospital volunteered the actual costs associated with the surgery. Now, there were significant costs for him, and I want to make that clear, but, you know, people are stepping up to help him financially. Angie, this is one way to honor the people that have sacrificed a great deal, and something that I've actually talked about on my show repeatedly. Because of medical science, those that would have normally died in battle no longer do, and their injuries can sometimes be absolutely devastating and debilitating, and yet now they live through this.
Tony Trupiano, TNZTalk.com. Thank you so much, Tony. Always fun to have you on the show. You have such a big heart.
Thank you, Angie.
All right, coming up, Tony, I don't agree with this story, but it says male squirrels spend all day loafing around, sitting in the sun, having a nice time with friends, while female squirrels do all the work. And we'll have politics. Thank you, Tony.
Hey, it is what it is. Male chauvinist squirrels. I don't know what to tell you.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks,
we'll wrap
friend.
it up tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Cool. So we'll start a new live stream.
Okay.
Not for this one, but for when we start John. Sound good?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so this one will be on, so John can share it. It's just him, like at the top.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the 4-year-old girl, lifesaver, honored by police. Maybe if I get John out in time, I can do ID Lion. Yeah, Trevino.